You may have heard of the term object-oriented programming. Sounds fancy, doesn't it? Not only is it fancy and advanced, it is also very simple and beautiful. We don't want to get too deep into programming theory. Let me just say that Python is a great language in which to learn about objects. That's because in Python, unlike many other languages, everything is an object. So let's dive in. Imagine that I want to create a game where players create AI art and can then buy and sell their art at auctions. With the money they get, they can buy mods that allow them to make better, bigger colored art. In thinking about this game, it seems easy. We understand from our real-world experience how making art works, how storing paintings in the closet works, and how auctions work. But once we start coding, we are very likely to go insane. This is because we don't think in zeros and ones, we think in terms of real-world objects and real-world languages. Where is all the data representing all this stuff supposed to go? Object-oriented programming to the rescue. When using this methodology, we think of an object, say a painting, and we think of all the things that describe the painting and all the things the painting does. The painting has a height and width. Also, it has many, many pixels, each of a different color. Luckily for us, each of these pixels is an object itself, and a lot of objects are already available for us to use. So basically, when we create our objects, we are just going to be putting together a bunch of other objects together like Lego blocks. What does a painting do? You may think it just sits there and does nothing, but this is not true. Just like a chair does something in allowing you to sit on it, a painting allows you to look at it. A painting's value also changes with time, inflation, etc. A painting's color may fade with time, and if your game needs to take this into account, then dulling out the color of all the pixels would be something your painting does. The point is that we are never going to place a real painting inside the computer. What we create is an abstraction of a painting that only contains the characteristics and behaviors that matter for the application you are creating. And once we have that, we are going to place all of these variables and functions inside of the object to keep things tidy and make our program feel like the real world. It will help us think about it in a way we are used to thinking about the real world. So we will store the characteristics of the object in variables, and we will store the behaviors of the objects as functions. Once these functions and variables are encapsulated in the objects, they are referred to as properties and methods. Together, these are referred to as an object's attributes. Okay, enough theory. If that sounded really abstract and hard to understand, don't worry about it. We will revisit this later, and once you start using objects, some of these things will start to make more sense. And it is supposed to be abstract, since mastering this concept means we can take any object idea and make it into something that can be part of a computer program. We just have to list its characteristics and behaviors and how to represent those things as variables and functions.